Greetings everyone. How are you? Welcome to the Black Castle International. For a long time we have been telling some horror stories here in Portuguese language. But now, after some consideration, we have finally made a decision. We are going to start some videos in English, treating especially the Brazilian urban legends, something that might be of your interest. Do you guys like horror stories? And for today's conversation, what do we have? Well, for long years a dark legend has been told. One that is related to a bloody, young and blonde little girl who lived in a mansion with her parents in the countryside of Brazil, Guaratinguetá, São Paulo state. Oh, she was from a rich family, but certainly unhappy because of her wedding. She would have to marry a much older man in the 19th century, when she was barely 16, or 14, that varies a little bit in the legends. Some stories say that she ran away to Europe after selling her jewelry. Other versions, more controversial, say that she never left the country. Well, but they have something in common. The girl didn't really want to marry a man that was that old. The most accepted version, though, says that after coming back to her parents' house, after a bad wedding, she took her jewelry, sold items, so she could live in Europe for a long time. Her joy, unfortunately, wouldn't last very long, for she would die at age 26, because of a very common disease in those times, rabies. When her body was brought back to Brazil, her mother didn't have the courage to move on with the burial ceremony. So, a glass coffin would be exposed in the center of the mansion for some time. The legend has it that her vengeful spirit would appear to her mother, asking for the burial ceremony to happen. So, after so many visions, her mother would finally give up, and everything happened. She was buried, and she would rest in peace forever. After some years, though, after some decades actually, the old mansion in Guaratinguetá, São Paulo state, would become a well-known school. Many teenagers would be studying there for decades after that. And people would tell stories of an evil spirit that would torment the living in there and in other schools in Brazil, seeking for revenge. After a certain ritual. If the ritual was well succeeded, the person would see the image of a blonde girl with blood all over her face, some cotton pieces holding her bleeding nose, white eyes. All of this in a white dress. She will drag you to the other side if you are not careful. Isn't it a very scary version of Blood Mary in Brazil? We have our ghosts as well. If you guys have the guts to do the ritual, we are going to describe how to do it in the description of this video. But be careful, because she is, and will always be a vengeful spirit, lurking into darkness at night, waiting for someone to perform the ritual, to drag you to hell, to the other world.